The glass was still in my hand when his words cut the room in half. My sister got fired. Again. Maybe stick to stripping? Laughter exploded. Not polite laughter. Ugly, sharp, hungry. My father leaned back in his chair, smirked, and added, "At least she's good at that." The room shook with amusement. Faces blurred, eyes burned into me, but I didn't flinch. I just held my glass, still, until the rim pressed so tight against my skin I thought it might crack. And then the doors opened. The CEO walked in. Her eyes locked on mine. The laughter died instantly, like someone had cut the sound from the world. I remember when my brother and I were children. He was the golden one, the one teachers praised, the one neighbors admired. I was the shadow, tolerated but never celebrated. He played piano. I wrote stories. He wore medals. I wore bruises no one asked about. Dad loved him. Dad endured me. When I stumbled in my career, they turned it into a running joke, a script they repeated until the words weren't words anymore, just weapons. You'll never stick to anything. You're fragile. You're worthless. But I endured, quietly, and when I fell, I learned to fall silently. The promotion party was his kingdom. He'd earned a high seat at the company. I was the guest no one wanted, dragged there because appearances mattered. But I wasn't the same girl they thought I was. They hadn't seen the months I spent rebuilding. They didn't know about the late nights, the studying, the networking. They hadn't seen me walk into an interview for the same corporation that worshipped my brother, and walk out with a contract. Not as an employee, as a consultant, directly hired by the CEO. That night, when their laughter drowned me, I didn't answer. I didn't need to, because my revenge was already written. I noticed the CEO's gaze lingered, longer than anyone else's. She crossed the room, ignoring my brother's attempts to charm her, ignoring my father's outstretched hand. She came straight to me. "Glad you could make it," she said. Her voice carried, sharp and deliberate. "We've got a lot of work ahead." Silence. Confusion. Dozens of heads turned. I smiled politely, lifted my glass, and answered, "Of course. Congratulations to my brother, by the way. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to know we'll be working closely." The look on his face was priceless. Confusion curdling into disbelief. They thought my failures defined me. They thought my silence was weakness. But silence is sharper than any scream when you know how to use it. I never corrected their assumptions, never defended myself. I let them believe I was sinking while I was quietly building a foundation beneath their feet. My father's laugh died first. He leaned forward, eyes darting between the CEO and me, like he'd missed the punchline. My brother tried to recover, tried to make a joke. "Wait, what? You two? You know each other?" The CEO cut him off. "Know each other? She's one of the best strategists I've seen in years. Without her, half of what you're celebrating tonight wouldn't exist." Every word landed like a hammer. Every second stretched like a blade. The guests shifted uncomfortably. My brother's grin collapsed into something small, brittle. 3 weeks before that night, I'd signed the papers. My position gave me direct influence on operations, on his projects, on his future. I didn't flaunt it. I didn't announce it. I waited. I waited for the right stage, the right crowd, the right moment for truth to slice through their arrogance like glass. The toast that humiliated me became his undoing. The CEO, unimpressed by arrogance and entitlement, watched the scene unfold. She saw not just his cruelty, but his carelessness. And she saw me, calm, composed, unwilling to be rattled. That was the moment his throne cracked. Not because I shouted, not because I fought, but because I didn't need to. The truth revealed itself. After the party, he cornered me. What the hell was that? His voice shook with rage. I looked him in the eye, steady. That was me. Finally standing where I belong. No raised voice, no revenge screamed into his face. Just the cold reality. I had risen without his permission, without Dad's validation, without their approval. I left him there drowning in his own reflection. Now, when I think about that night, I don't hear their laughter anymore. I hear the silence that followed. Heavy, shaken, humbling. For years they mocked me for falling. They never noticed I was learning how to rise. And that's the sweetest part of revenge. It's not about destroying them. It's about letting them destroy themselves. When they realize the person they underestimated was the only one they should have feared.